What is good, YouTube? Warstu here with a video on the Fantastic Four. So, the Fantastic Four is one of the most highly anticipated Marvel IPs now that Marvel officially has it back after they bought it from Fox. They can officially do something with those characters. Yes, we did see some of the Fantastic Four members appear in Doctor Strange 2, but we haven't actually seen Marvel do anything with it, even though we had this huge announcement years ago now of what was going down with the Fantastic Four. So we're going to break down these reports and rumors, even though they are coming from the actual director who is filming and working on the movie. I'm skeptical about what he's recently come out and said. And also, the plot seems to be an absolute mess, or it seems to be epic. I'm really confused about what the director's come out and said. Very skeptical. So, what is freaking good, YouTube? Wish you here. If you are new around, make sure to subscribe to never miss any of the Marvel, DC, Kaiju, Monsterverse, pop culture-based content that we try to do on a daily basis. If you could subscribe to the channel, turn notifications on, and let me know down below. How freaking hyped are you for the Fantastic Four? Who would you personally cast in each member of the Fantastic Four? And do you want Doctor Doom to appear? Because we don't know if the rumors are true that Marvel's doing nothing with Doom. We don't know if Galactus is really going to appear. You've got to take all these industry, Twitter, X revenue scoopers with a grain of salt, because what the director said actually goes against every super duper scooper. Also, if you could, check us out on Instagram at WarStu to see the beautiful face behind the beautiful voice. Also, if you could, check us out on Twitter or x.com, WarStuG. Right, let's get on to it. So, Collider did an interview with Matt Shakman that says despite the strikes, they've been working on effects, which is very good because the special effects, the CGI, have been awful. Production design and building our world. So cool. They've been doing a lot of work behind the scenes. Obviously, during a writer's strike, no writing could take place. And during an actor's strike, no casting, no actors could be casted. Now, this is why I'm very skeptical about the news that come out. I'm not one of these clout chasing people on Twitter that will jump on whatever somebody says, even if it's director, unless it's your boy Kevin Feige saying it or Bob Iger. I'm not going to believe a director at face value. The new Fantastic Four have been cast. An announcement expected to happen once the SAG strike has been resolved. I'm calling BS. I'm calling cap. I'm calling absolute nonsense on this. So what you're really saying to me is, and I get a lot of flack for the way I am, but I just am the way I am. I don't believe this information. I really don't believe it. So you're telling me the writer's strike just finished. The actors' strike's been going on at least 2 months now, and they've had all the actors locked in. Okay, if that is the case, why have you had every single wannabe Twitter scooper coming out going, oh, Reed Richards is going to be played by Matt Damon. Reed Richards is going to be played by Adam Driver. No, it's Matt Smith. No, it's all these people. So I get it. Some of these scoopers have some credibility, like Daniel RPK, like Viewer Anon, and co. So you've got all these actors locked in place, but you can't reveal anything until after the strike, which would make sense. So what I'm really taking this is that the agents, in theory, could negotiate during a strike, although I don't know if that would be legal or not. So what you're really saying to me is nothing is actually penned, nothing is signed, nothing is actually confirmed officially in terms of the contract. Sorry, Matt Shakman. I know you're working on the movie. I know technically you would be in charge of casting who you want to cast, but I'm calling BS. What you really mean is it's almost locked, but nothing can be signed during a strike. You know that. I know that. What I also find interesting is they're going to start shooting next year in spring, which is fascinating because, cool, you're coming to London. That means the taxpayers, that means English people like me are going to be paying for the movie because you get a massive tax break because you're going to film in Pinewood Studios in London. But that also means we're going to have to actually see 100% how much this movie is going to cost. So you're going to shoot next year, cool, in spring. But what happens if the strike's not over? Then you're not going to be shooting anything. This is why I'm always skeptical when people come out and say things, because it really does make me laugh. And when he comes out and says, it's unlike anything you've ever seen, the actual headline, this film is going to be unlike anything at Marvel you've ever seen. But the only instance when that actually happened, to be honest, I would say was Loki season 1 and maybe Doctor Strange Multiverse of the Madness. So whenever directors come out and say outlandish things, because we've covered leaks, plot leaks on this channel for the last 3 to 5 years. Generally speaking, most plot leaks are somewhat true. So he said this. It's different in so many ways. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more, but we're doing things very differently from a story standpoint, from an approach to the filmmaking standpoint. Okay. So recently news came out. I wasn't going to make a 10-minute video because they're filming with some old lenses, which would imply the movie would be shot in like lenses from the 60s, which would back up the claim that the Fantastic Four are going to be stuck in some kind of variation of the quantum realm and it could be linked to Ant-Man 3. Homie, don't run like that. So from a stand-making point of view that really fits the material, I wish I could say more. I would love to, but I can't. But I think it's going to be unlike anything you've seen before. And certainly unlike anything at Marvel that you've seen before. Again, I'm calling freaking cap. Absolute cap. There is nothing Marvel. There's nothing any superhero genre, any superhero filmmaker can bring that we haven't already seen before. I hate to be negative, Nelly, but I am looking forward to the Fantastic Four. I'm just very skeptical because of all the information. It's cool they're working on set pieces. It's cool they're doing all this stuff behind the scenes. So when the actor strike ends, and if they have really, well, they can't actually pen anything. So I don't believe they've had these actors locked in place for 2 months. The actor strike's been going on for over 8 weeks now. So I'm calling an absolute cap on that. Because if that was the case, someone credible like Daniel RPK would have come out and said things. Now, I know a lot of people think she is locked in, but it's complete cap. Obviously, people are very excited when are you going to announce the casting? So do you think the fans are going to find out information? Shakman. Hard to say. Like I said, we're in the middle of a strike, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that they'll get a great deal really soon. Well, the writers didn't, so I don't think the actors will either. And we can go back. Then once that's resolved, there'll be a plan at that point. I can't say too much. There will be an announcement at some point. I know the internet is very excited to find out. And I'm excited to share. I just can't share that yet. So I don't actually think they've cast anyone because I see all these Twitter tweets saying things, all these X posts saying things. But when you actually read what he said, plan at some point, yeah, I mean, that's absolute nonsense. At some point after the strike ends, we will announce casting. Okay, cool story. Now, hopefully the writer's strike has a knock-on effect with the actor strike and it ends before the end of October, then in theory, Deadpool 3 and stuff can still come out next year. But I do find it interesting. So it wouldn't be a War Drizzy, War Stew video without going over some potential plot leaks. So let's break it down. So this is coming courtesy of an article. Cosmic Book. Yeah, I know it's not a very reliable website, but we haven't gone over this leak. Fantastic Four, again, said to be a woke disaster. Now, the only reason I'm going over this is because Jeff Snyder does have a lot of credibility. Jeff Snyder was the first to offer that the Fantastic Four movie is actually going to be about Sue Storm, which I pointed out fits with Kevin Feige's diverse approach to the MCU, starting with Captain Marvel, then Phase 4, then Phase 5, and beyond. Original rumors tweet about how Sue Storm is the role in the Fantastic Four, said Snyder. They want to build a cast around Sue Storm. This is supposedly the standout role of the movie, which means they went to an actress for Sue Storm first, implying it's not going to be about Mr. Fantastic, aka Reed Richards. It's going to be based around Sue Storm. And this is where a lot of the rumors came out from these Twitter wannabe scoopers go, oh, it's going to be Margot Robbie. No, it's going to be Vanessa Kirby. No, it's going to be Scarlett Johansson. No, it's going to be Mrs. Worshu or something. So apparently the Fantastic Four script isn't good. Okay. Rumors for months have offered that various actors have potentially been cast in a role, but it has been said all actors parted ways and decided not to do the film. Now, I think this is absolute cap. I just think these Twitter scoopers are throwing stuff out because no news. So names including Margot Robbie, Emma Stone, Warshtew, Adam Driver, Matt Smith, etc. So I guess this is where people could make up a story that the script isn't good because everyone's turned it down. You don't actually know that they've looked at the script. Regarding Adam Driver, apparently he wasn't happy with the script, so he turned it down. Where I point out he probably doesn't want to do another Star Wars Last Jedi, as he went through all that nonsense one before when Ray was propped up at the expense of the characters, etc. The latest offers of the rumors, Marvel was going back to Adam Driver with a revised script, apparently. Which, of course, means the current original Fantastic script isn't good. But I don't know whether to believe this stuff because you heard all the rumors that Loki Season 2 had a massive reshoot and then it actually comes out that they didn't rewrite anything. So it is what it is. Script needs to be fixed. Well, why does the script need to be revised? Again, fitting with Feige's diverse agenda. Speculation the Fantastic Four movie will likely make Sue Storm look good and the other characters look bad, which of course is woke and according to a new rumor, I'm 100% correct. Like I said, cosmicnews.com isn't very good. The info comes from Disney leaker WDW Pro via YouTube, who claims to have been told inside information about the Fantastic Four that lines up exactly with what I've been told, stating for months about the flick. Worth a mention is that I was also the first to state the original Fantastic Four would be set in the past via my Comic-Con insiders, which various scoopers have confirmed. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, honey, whoever wrote this. Scoopers can't verify anything. Can only be verified when a movie's coming out. Come on now. So I find this funny because there was a plot leak that we went over on the channel. I'll tag it here, where the plot actually sounded pretty good, where the movie was set in the 60s and actually explained why they were stuck there. And it went forward and it all linked to Kang and Antman 3 and how Kang really got to be stuck in the quantum realm. So let's just continue this. Sue Storm can't live up to her full potential. This source first offers the film makes Mr. Fantastic look bad compared to Sue Storm. This came to us from a high-level... What is the point of saying a high-level source? Unless you're going to reveal who it is, just don't say anything. One of our highest... This to me screams fake. Says the leaker 6 months ago, according to the source, the Fantastic Four movie was a Susie Storm-centric. Reed Richards in the Fantastic Four was offered Mr. Fantastic, ironically, in the film, even negatively. The YouTuber continues with mention Sue Storm in the movie hasn't been able to live up to her full potential. Sue has been sacrificing so much of herself being in a relationship with him. Explains the leaker. You can only be a leaker if your information's true. Update says this. Interesting enough, Marvel Comics released an issue of Fantastic Four on Wednesday that confirms Sue Storm are on equal footing. That doesn't really confirm anything. And then it just goes over that alleged actors and directors passed on this project. But if Shakman's been the director all along, I don't know. Reed Richards is so poorly depicted that some actors even passed on playing the role they did not want to be involved with toxic masculinity. Styles' portrayal, and apparently the original director also left, at least partly due to same. Okay, Matt Shakman's been the director all along, so yeah, not really sure what to make of this. Well, guess who is the new Fantastic Four director, Matt Shakman? I mean, I could be completely wrong, but I presumed he was all along. The overall message from the source is, again, very high in place, is that what it is being done to Fantastic Four movie is largely being done because the original Fantastic Four, essentially for people of European descent, said so-called leaker. So it's saying that representation and a strong female role of Sue Storm is going to outshine Reed Richards. Hell, let's go over the plot leak that I think is pretty legit. So let's break it down. So it's worth saying this is coming from Reddit, where all the good real leaks come from. The opening scene of the new Fantastic Four movie takes place in the 60s during the height of the Cold War. The Fantastic Four consists of Reed Richards, Sue Storm, Johnny Storm, and Ben Grimm. They are a group of scientists and explorers who have been recruited by the government to investigate mysterious energy signal coming from the quantum realm. As they enter the quantum realm, they are exposed to radiation that gives them superpowers while exploring the strange new realm. They encounter a powerful entity known as the Timekeeper, who warns them of great danger that threatens the entire universe. The Timekeeper explains that there is powerful beings known as Kang, the Conqueror, who is attempting to manipulate time for his own advantage. Now, why I think this is more legit than the information that came from Cosmic News is the whole multiversal saga is based around Kang, He Who Remains, Immortus, etc., the variants of Kang. So even if Fantastic Four set in the past, Kang's been there all along. If you've watched the end of Loki Season 1, you already know this. So let's digress. The Fantastic Four must travel back through time to stop Kang and prevent him from altering the course of history. Along the way, they encounter several important figures such as Howard Stark, Peggy Carter, Hank Pym. They also meet a young scientist named the Beyonder, who will become a key player in the future of the Fantastic Four sequels or crossovers And the Beyonder is literally the reason, or one of the biggest reasons for Secret Wars. So come on now. As they travel through time, the Fantastic Four use their unique powers and scientific knowledge to outsmart Kang and prevent him from altering time. In the final showdown, they face off against Kang. They must work together to take down the seamlessly all-powerful entity and save the universe from destruction. However, in the process, they are unable to return to their original timeline and instead find themselves transported to the present day in Earth. Now stranded in a world they do not recognize, the Fantastic Four must adjust to their new surroundings and figure out a way to return to their original time. They arrive just after Endgame and encounter the remaining Avengers and other heroes of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. They warn the Avengers of a powerful, dangerous villain who has been manipulating events throughout the whole course of history. Well, like I say, Loki Season 1 literally says everything. The mid-credits, now this is interesting. The mid-credits scene shows Kang being sentenced to exile in the same place he attempted to conquer with his abilities stripped from him, so he can't fight his way out of the quantum realm, setting up the events of Antman 3. Now, this is why I believe this is true, because this makes absolute sense. This really does make sense. I don't think they're going to introduce Galactus, Doctor Doom, War Stew in Fantastic Four. Doesn't make sense. But this, sure, it could be a fan cast script, but it sounds a hell of a lot better than making Sue Storm essentially Mr. Fantastic. So, the after credit scene shows the Beyonder, now revealed to be a Kang variant, and is watching and waiting for his next move. The movie ends with the Beyonder obnoxiously watching over the Marvel Cinematic Universe, hinting at a future crossover where the Fantastic Four and Avengers must face off against him once again. Okay, sounds pretty cool to me. I think that's more reliable than what the Cosmic Book News website says and some random YouTuber. I mean, it is what it is. People get information from all kind of places, but I really don't think Kevin Feige's going to go like full on Susie Storm woke. The fact that Reed Richards was in Doctor Strange 2 tells you Feige wants Reed Richards, or else he would have put Sue Storm in there instead. Would he not? Come on now. So let me know, who would you fan cast for the Fantastic Four? What would your script be for the Fantastic Four? How do you want the Fantastic Four movie to play out? I've been your boy, War Stew, a.k.a. War Drizzy, a.k.a. the iconic, legendary voice of reason. So like always, subscribe to the channel, catch us on Instagram at WarStewC, be a face fan to be a voice, check us out on Twitter, HillStewG, and I've kept you up to date with all the latest and greatest Fantastic Four news for the last 3 months. So I'll see you in the comment section. Catch ya later.